So I apologize for breaking into the food and drink portion of the evening, but I promise the bar will be open all night and the food will be out until it runs out. So we've got plenty of time to be true Berks Countyans and do our thing with the food and the beverage. For those of you who don't subscribe to the Reading Eagle, I'm John Smith. I'm the director of the museum. We do have copies available for me to sign afterward. I think it actually is probably an appropriate reflection of what this institution can, should, and as long as I'm here, will be for the next generation of whether they be art lovers or science lovers or humanities lovers or whatever. Knowing that not only does being a world-class artist mean you can paint a beautiful landscape or beautiful still life or a beautiful portrait, but also that you can make a painting that means something to you that might mean something totally different to somebody else, or you can make you can have a sculpture that's a horse that's actually a portrait of somebody you know that's made out of leftover pieces of bark and twig, and you'll get it when you get in there. I understand you'll get the reference. Or you can take old automobile parts and you can weld them together and you can turn them into something that now people think is just as important as maybe a painting of little chicks running around. No offense to the books, you know, it's all great stuff. It's, you know, if it sells, it's art as far as I'm concerned. But the bottom line is, what I think is important in this institution is that kids will be inspired by a variety of things, whether it's the sciences or the humanities or the cultures or the fine arts. No matter how you define them, whether it's a landscape or bullshit or whatever word you want to use. And I'm excited that when kids come starting tomorrow and see the galleries that we're going to unveil tonight, they're going to be inspired to know that fine art doesn't mean that they have to be necessarily the greatest, most technical painter or sculptor or whatever, but that they can do a variety of things and be successful. I mean, there is an artist that's represented downstairs and in this room behind us who started, you know, doing spray paint on subway walls down in New York City and did some stuff that's creative, to say the least. And he's a local kid and he's inspired a lot of people. And when you see Keith Haring's work today, I don't think that you could argue that it's not at least an inspiring story for kids from this area to say, you know, I can make something of myself as well. I think it's a reflection of a lot of people, our team in-house. There are collectors who have made this possible. Dr. Luther Brady, who's here with us tonight from Philadelphia. Carl Steele, who's also from Philadelphia, who was unable to be here tonight. You'll see pieces from him. The Lenfests, who have also donated pieces on display. There are pieces that were gifts to the museum in honor of former directors like Bob Metzger, who is here as well. You'll see that in there. And then, you know, you'll see well, the plaque's not as big as I wanted it to be. I like big. I like, you know, if you're going to do something big for this institution, I like big. Some donors might say big and too bold is not always their thing. I won't name names, but the Cohen's name is prominently featured in this gallery, and to me, that's probably the most inspiring thing that we have on display tonight.
Hi, I got Mike Anderson here, and Mike is our Director of Public Relations and Marketing here at the Reading Public Museum. Hi, buddy.
Hi, how you doing?
Fine. Hey, can you give me a couple of words about this?
A couple of words about this. Well, I think it's great. We've expanded our well, we called it the 20th Century Gallery, and to double the space, we've included some fine works that have been loaned to us. We've expanded our own collection. We brought out some works that have been kind of hidden for a while, and it gives the public a great chance to see things in all their glory. All kinds of, all media, all sizes, and I think it's a good experience for the local public as well. mean, this is Philadelphia, New York quality anywhere in the world.
Exactly, it's world class, as John was saying earlier. So we want to, and really it is. It's a really nice show. We got some prominent works here by some really important modern artists here. We got Chihuly sitting over there. We got an Olitsky here, Peter Busa, Keith Haring, another Keith Haring, Howard Hodkin. And of course there is Mr. Andy Warhol over there. So we've got we've got a lot of things going on in this, and this is only in this one room.
Right.
So I think this is a great occurrence for the city of Reading. And I'm really happy that the Reading Public Museum has taken the how would you say, the initiative to have something like this done in this town, because it's very rare. It's very rare.
And certainly it's with the incentive of the Cohens for their generous not only monetary contributions but pieces of their own artwork.
Of their own artwork, right? Irvin Lois Cohen.
And, I mean, that kind of kick-started. We've always had ideas of what we'd like to do, but it helps to have some local people helping us out, giving us a little push, and giving us the opportunity and the wherewithal to do it. So, I mean, it's onward and upward. I know a lot of the pieces on here will be on display at least through halfway through the year, the ones that are on loan, and we can see how many of those we can loan a little longer.
I know.
And we, something is to be said for keeping things fresh.
Keep them as long as we can.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. Thank you very much. Hi there. I'm just doing a little bit of video. Let's see, before my battery dies here, if I can get a hold of Scott. Hi, and I got Scott Schweigert here. He's the curator of this lovely museum, and he's standing in front of a Fritz, I can't even talk right anymore, Fritz Shoulder, Indian on Galloping Horse after Remington. So this is also on loan from Dr. Luther Brady.
Right.
So can you just give us a couple words, Scott, about this wonderful exhibit?
Well, I think maybe transformation is the key word. We transformed into a modern white cube space, complete with a deck, which is home to sculpture, decorative arts, painting of the 1950s through present time. So it's, again, it makes a statement definitely for where the museum is going, and I think it's expanding in a direction that as we move further into the 21st century makes sense for us institutionally.
I totally agree. I was very happy to see this. The whole idea of bringing in modern art, or bringing art in that's just not sitting around and collecting dust in closets and stuff, and actually having collections from loaners is a good idea. It's a great idea.
I agree. Yeah, and I think for them, it's an opportunity to see the work in a different context, and I think they're really excited by what they see here. And hopefully, maybe they'll like it so much that they'll promise a gift or they'll make a donation down the road, and that's sort of the long-term plan. As always, recording donors, the Cohens have been tremendously generous, and the naming of the gallery in their honor represents that generosity.
Irvin Lois Cohen.
Irvin Lois Cohen. They've also been generous with works that they've lent. Three of the sculptures in here, the Deborah Butterfield, the Jim Dine, and the Henry Moore, are courtesy of the Cohens. The beautiful Basiotis on the partition wall and the other side of the gallery is also theirs, but is a promised gift to the museum. So they've already made that gesture, and we're hoping that other lenders do the same thing.
Well, this is a great gesture on behalf of the museum as well, I believe. I'm really happy to see this. Thank you so much for...
Absolutely, Ron. Pleasure to talk to you.
Always, my friend.
Right.